Kim, and I'm here today to share with you a design team project for Gina's Design Laser Cuts. And as you saw in the pictures at the beginning, it is an altered bird cage. Now, this bird cage is wood. I've had it in my stash for quite a while, and you can't get them anymore, unfortunately. The company that made this has since gone out of business, so unfortunately you can't get it. But you can get all the other pieces that are here. So that's the good news. So let me share with you what I have done, and it's going to be a little hard to film, so I'm hoping that my camera will pick up most of this anyway. Let me just move this a tiny bit closer, because I want to show you on the front here. This piece here is actually the fleur-de-lis gate from Gina's, and what I did with that was I did several layers of embossing, I did crackle paint, I did all kinds of things. So the idea behind this birdhouse is that it would be like a winter wonderland, and I wanted to use the colors of like a very, very pale, soft, silvery blue almost, and white, and just keep it in those tones. Now I do have a little bit of brown sneaking in, but that's okay because in nature there is always a bit of brown anyway. So that was my thought process with that. So on the fleur-de-lis gate here, what I did was I used some of the Tim Holtz crackle paint, the Picket Fence, and I went over all of that. And then I took my light blue Prima chalk ink and I just went over that just very, very lightly. And it picked up a lot of the, hopefully you can see it. Actually, I'm going to take the lid off. I didn't glue the lid on yet because I wanted you to see the inside, so let me try and get as close as I can here. There we go. And when I did the chalk ink, it kind of picked up on all the little crackles. And then after that, I took my my stickles, my diamond stickles, and just went around. You can see it on the camera there, I'm sure, just glistening. I just did it in random places. I didn't really do too much on it, just random places where, you know, it might be a bit sparkly and where the ice would land. And on the corners here of this bird cage, I've used Gina's hinges. Now these are straight when you get them, but you can bend them, which is the very cool thing about it, and I just absolutely love these. They look like real hinges once you emboss them. They really do. I just used like a flat metal from Ranger, a flat embossing powder, and it was a silver metal. And really, it just looks so great. You know, you could do so much with those pieces. You could make them rusty, all kinds of things. But like I said, I just wanted to keep this in the silver, blues, whites tones. So I put one of those on each corner of the bird cage, as you can see there. Also on the front here, I've used a little metal piece right there, just silver again. And then here I've used a little tag, and this is from Witchcraft, and it says Magic. And then I used my micro beads in blue and silver, and then glossy accents. And well, I put the glossy accents on first, and then the micro beads, and they stuck, and they're on there. They are not coming off. And I just thought that was an appropriate word, and I just tied it with a little white ribbon. And then I just used this silver key with wings for the key to open the bird cage. So that's basically the front, and then up here at the top, I've used this gorgeous piece, and I got this from Alter Me Happy on Etsy. They have beautiful and amazing metal pieces. I just love them. And then you can see the paper back here is a very pale blue and white damask, and that's actually a recollection stack. I think it's called Damask, that I got at Michael's ages and ages ago. So I just love this paper, and this was my last piece of this color too. So this is going to a friend, so I know she'll like it and enjoy it. Okay. So then on this side, it's pretty simple. I've used one of Gina's chipboard pieces, and this is from her Christmas set. And what I did with this was I painted it white, and then I used my sticky embossing powder and dried it, and then when it was hot, I just sprinkled distress glitter all over the tree. And you can see it gave a very, very glittery, glittery feel, and I just love how that tree turned out. It's so pretty. And just glittering. And then, of course, you can see the hinges again over here. These are a smaller hinge, and I did the same thing with them. Just embossed them, and then I bent them, because you can see here that you're able to bend them, which is really cool that you can make them dimensional like that. I love that. I'm just going to move my camera down a bit just a bit easier for me to film it if this is down a bit lower. Okay, now on the back here, you can see I've done the same process here with, these are all Gina's snowflakes from her snowflake kit. And I did the same thing here. I painted the snowflakes white, and then I put glossy accents all over it, and I took my micro beads in blue and silver and just sprinkled them all on it. And I just love the texture it gives, and it's so, so pretty. I really love it. And then here, I did the same on this snowflake as I did on the tree. I used my sticky embossing powder and distress glitter. And look at how that sparkles. I just love it. It's so magical looking. It really is. Now these stars you can find in Gina's store as well. They're called Heidi stars. And I did the same process on this one as I did on this with the sticky embossing powder and the glitter. And then this one I did the same as I did the big snowflake with the embossing powder and the micro beads. So yes, I've used the same technique here with the on this time I only just used silver micro beads on that one. And again, there's another hinge. Love those. And then this side I've used more stars and snowflakes, and here again you can see the glossy accents on this snowflake, and it's a really cool shape. I love this shape. And the little micro beads, and if I get up pretty close you can see how tiny those little beads are? They're so fun. And then this one I've done with the glitter, and then this one with the micro beads. And then we're back again to the front. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the inside, and that might be a little bit difficult, but we'll do our best. Okay, so what I've done here is these are two little trees, and I actually got these two little trees here in a swap from Linda, who is Lady of Lace. Hi, Linda. She actually sent them to me in my swap last year, and I've had them all this time because I've been waiting for the right project, Linda. And this was the perfect project for these trees. And they're just gorgeous bottle brush trees, and they've got snow on them. I just absolutely adore them. So they're inside there. I didn't do a lot on the inside because I thought, you know what, there's enough going on. And I don't think it needs a lot on the inside. And you can see on the bottom the damask paper that I've used. And in the corner, right up here, I've used a couple of wild orchid craft flowers in a beautiful turquoise and white, and you can see the glitter all over the paper as well, which is really cool. And then there's more flowers in that corner, right there, and more down here. And then these birds are from Gina's. They're wood, and they're birds on a flourish. And what I did with these was I mixed a color using a couple of Martha Stewart paints because I wanted the blue to really match that blue in the damask. And I think I did pretty good. It's really, really close. And there you can see the bird on the flourish there too. You can sort of get a better view. And see how it has leaves here and a flourish. And these are wood. And like I had mentioned before, Gina's going to be having more wood in her shop in January. Hooray! So after I painted them, I decided to sand them down a little bit, and I did. And then I went over it with a bit of chalk ink, just in a brown color. I just thought they needed that, just to give them a little bit of texture. So that's what I did, and you can see there's the other one. And then in the back here, hopefully I can get it. There we go. I've used a chandelier right here from Gina's, and I painted it in that same color that I mixed, the same custom color. And again, you can see how close it is with the paper. And then on the top of the chandelier, I just put one of the stars, and it's got the sticky embossing powder and the glitter on it. And you can see it glitter. And then I put the damask paper up here. And if I turn this around, you will see on this side more of the damask paper. And then I've just used this little crown buckle slider, which I had in my stash, and it's just silver, just plain. And I just added that there for sort of a finishing touch. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the roof without the birdcage because it's easier. So this is the roof, and of course it sits on like that. So I've just taken this beautiful vintage lace here, and this is from Lavish Laces. One of my most favorite laces from Gisela. Totally, totally adore it. It's so beautiful. And I just went all the way around the roof with that, and I just thought, you know, flowers and leaves, how perfect for a birdcage. And it's also beautiful white Venetian lace, so it really played in with the same wintry color tones. And then over here, I had a lot of fun with this. I've used some of Gina's chipboard chicken wire, and I embossed it this beautiful blue color, and this is actually a Recollections embossing powder color in a really soft blue. And then over here you'll see another one of her snowflakes, and you can see I've done the same thing with the distress glitter on there. It's so pretty. And then I've just arranged some beautiful roses from Wild Orchid Crafts in a few different sizes in the turquoise and aqua tones, and some little buds. And then here I've just added a couple of little angel wings, because you know I love my angel wings, from Craft Supplies 1. So the top is pretty simple, and then that just sits on top of there, of course, but I also want to point out what's around the base, and because this can be hung, and I wanted to have a really neat trim because she's going to hang this in her craft room, my friend who's getting this. She already knows she's getting it, by the way. And so you can, this will look really pretty when it's hanging up, so I wanted to add this trim. And this trim is also from Lavish Laces as well, and it's, again, one of my favorites, and it just looks so pretty going around the edge. So I'm going to put the roof on so you can get a better look here, and I'm going to sit this up on something so you can see. I have it sitting on a milk glass vase. So I'm just going to undo my camera here, and hopefully we'll be able to get it all in shot. So there you go. Let me pick this up, sorry. There you can see the roof. And you can see down inside, and the birds and the trees and the flowers. And then there's the flowers over there. And they're coming down the front. Whoops. Oops, just let me tighten up my camera here. Sorry, guys. There we go. And there's that beautiful piece and the damask. And there you can see the little birdie inside. And there's the other little birdie in the front. And I kind of wanted this piece here to look like it was the front of the birdcage as well, so I think that worked out really well. And then coming down, you can see the little magic tag and the key. Okay, let me move my camera again. Sorry, guys. And then here we go along the bottom. And this beautiful, beautiful, gorgeous trim here. It just dangles, and, you know, it has a lot of movement, so I really like that. And then I'm just going to try and turn this so you can see all the sides. And there's the tree and the hinges. And the snowflake. And then we're back around to this side here with the pretty flowers and the gorgeous lace on the roof. And then all the snowflakes. And then back around to the front again. So that is my design team project for December for Gina's Designs Laser Cuts. And please, please stay tuned for what's coming up in January. You guys are just going to be so blown away. It's going to be totally amazing. So not only is there going to be wood, there's lots of other things coming too. So I'm very, very excited about it all. So please stay tuned for that, and feel free to comment or subscribe. I love to hear from you, and I'm really trying hard to keep up with all the comments, but I don't get notifications anymore in my inbox if you guys leave messages on my videos, so I have to keep checking. It all goes on Google Plus now. So, and I love Google Plus so far, but I'm still trying to get the hang of getting all these messages. So please bear with me, but I'm really trying to answer everybody, so, and I really, really thank you for that. Okay, that's it for right now, and let me know what you think. I'll talk to you soon. And by the way, happy holidays, everybody. Bye.